Let's have a conversation. Tell me what you think about the issues of the world. What kind of spice you wanna be? Tell me where you wanna travel. Do you believe in luxury? What's your hidden passion? What makes you so unique? Conversations with Nicole. Conversations with Nicole. Conversations with Nicole. Conversations with Nicole.
Very difficult. So it was very, I don't do political well, and you got to learn how to really deal with people with an agenda, like a strategic agenda. And I've learned a little bit how to just kind of get back to the soul of who I am, but it was real difficult. Rotary is an international organization. That means that outside the USA, you're not in Rotary if you're not a ruler, if you're not a multi-billionaire, or if you're not somebody of note in the country, a landlord or a territorial lord. You're not being in Rotary.
Wow.
So being in Rotary in the United States and in a club like Southside has a lot of potential to bring the kind of resources we want. And so anyhow, that was my thought, because I'm trying to figure out how to bring all this stuff under like one umbrella, because I'm all over the place, and I feel that like in my 40s, I'm all over the place. So Rotary, I saw after doing the research and observing, is my way of doing that, and it has been really a lot of work to bring it all in, but now it's starting to come in. So that's why I joined, you know. But I'm trying to get other people to join, because I think it's an awesome, easy platform for people who are trying to develop an international presence, because the world's shrinking. And people from other countries, like I said, we gave $1,000 to a country, Tanzania, to their Rotary. We did a project over there. Our club did that. So, it's immediate opportunity to have impact internationally, but also to have connections internationally. And what drove the point home to me is when I got stopped by a ticket a couple of weeks ago, and I had my little Rotary sticker on the back, and the guy, I was going 15 miles over the speed limit, and the police officer came out, and he was like, you're going 15 miles over. I said, I know, I'm so sorry, I got a lead foot, I can't help it. And so he looked on the back, he said, what Rotary are you in? I was like, Tallahassee, Southside. He said, wait a minute. He went and ran the license, came back, drive slower.
Well, all right.
So yeah, that paid for my membership right there, because that could have been a fat ticket, real bad. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying that, but. So anybody that's trying to do that, and I encourage anybody, anybody, and I know we're doing so much, so much, and that's what I thought about. It's just another thing I'm trying to do, but it was a way for me to bring it all under one place and be able to have resource and people to tap into to really make an effective difference. So anyway, that's the long story of why I joined. First, because of people, and second, because of what I saw as an opportunity.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. And I will come visit.
Thank you.
You're
You need to
welcome.
come speak.
Okay, I will.
So let's schedule you to do that.
We will do that
Okay.
soon.
All right.
Okay.
Don't be surprised when love don't.
Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host, and today my very special guest is Mrs. Christic Henry, the co-owner and founder of Kingdom First Realty. But she's more than just a real estate agent, broker, property manager. She is a community servant. She's chuckling because she knows. We have this community heart thing going on. So we are sisters, very much so in that regard. So welcome, Christic.
Thank you, my sister Nicole.
I'm so glad to have you here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so we're in Nefertari's. I think you and I had come here. It's been a couple of years ago.
I have the picture.
Yeah.
I almost wore the same outfit, and I was like, no, let's not do that.
No.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're looking so fresh and so clean.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to Heavenly Hair Studios off of Adams Street. Kim.
All right. This is why you love Christic. You gotta love Christic. With the shout out. All right, so Christic is from Lakeland, Polk
Lakeland,
County.
Florida. Polk
Yes.
County representing, that's right.
Represent Polk County.
That's right, give love.
FSU alum.
That's right.
Go Knowles.
Okay,
Go
yes.
Knowles, yes.
Yeah.
Went to school for political science.
Yes, graduated in political science, bachelor's degree in the minor in communications from FSU.
Okay, so how do we parlay to real estate?
Well, so let's go back to FSU. I came here because, of course, it had a national football championship team at the time, and that was a big deal. But also, when I came to Tallahassee, I met this guy at like the Bagel who was working. And then I left Tallahassee and I came back and I met him again when I was working at Publix. He was a barber. He ended up becoming my husband. And so my
Mr. Henry.
Mr. Henry, shout out to Mr. Henry. So that is how I ended up in real estate. He became a real estate broker. He's an entrepreneur, great entrepreneurial spirit. He became a mortgage broker, then he became a real estate broker. And me and my natural acclimation of being in political science just thought, hey, this would be really, really cool. And it's been a great venture ever since.
That's wonderful. Now, you and I have served on some boards together and, you know, been real involved in the community. I know CONA, which stands for?
Council of Neighborhood Associations of Tallahassee, Leon County.
Right, and then CAN, which is?
The Capital Area Neighborhood Network Initiative.
Okay. Are both organizations that you are very much so involved in?
Yes, and CAN is actually an initiative of CONA.
Okay.
It's kind of its arm to reach out to neighborhoods. CONA is an organization of member neighborhoods that pay dues or pay memberships to be a part of it, but we felt like there needed to be an arm that reached out to neighborhoods that didn't necessarily have the financial capability to be a full CONA member, but also give them some grassroots tools to organize and to be able to function as an association. So that's where CAN came in as an initiative under CONA in partnership with Tallahassee Lenders Consortium.
Okay. Now, with CAN, what are some of the activities that CAN participates in?
Ooh, goodness. Well, some of the great benchmarks of the CAN initiative has been, first of all, the great collaboration with Tallahassee Lenders Consortium and being able to take them to national training. As you know, Tallahassee Lenders Consortium is a NeighborWorks organization. You know very well.
Yes.
And they were able to go and participate for the first time 3 years ago in their community institute, community leadership institute, the CLI. And what CLI does is just bring all these people from all over the nation together, almost like 1,000 people, resident leaders, good people who love their neighbors, together to learn how to be more effective advocates in their neighborhoods. So the first year, that collaboration yielded that opportunity for training. We took 3 neighborhoods that year. We took 3 neighborhoods last year, taking neighborhoods this year, and we're continuing on. This will be the 4th year that we've been able to take neighborhoods to have that national exposure to resident neighborhood leadership training.
That's outstanding.
It is. And from that, NeighborWorks gives us a $2,000 action grant. And that grant gives us an opportunity to do what's called a catalytic project here. And we focused on Southside because Southside is the targeted growth area. So we've been able to really galvanize some of these old and legacy neighborhoods that used to be active but kind of fell off and get them re-energized to be able to understand what the value of neighborhood advocacy is. And since then, we've done the Southside Big Clean, which was a huge event, multi-neighborhood cleanup, beautification event. Again, founded and done by the neighborhoods. Second year, we did this awesome Southside Symposium where we had over 130 residents of the Southside community come out and talk for 6 hours about Southside. And so when people say folks don't care about Southside, we know that's not true.
Right.
We know it's not true because those folks came and they stayed. Many of them stayed the whole day just talking about what things we can do to work together to better the image of Southside, because the soul of Southside is beautiful. It's just, we have an image problem.
Right.
And then last year, we were able to partner with the Delta Kappa Omega Foundation and the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority to do a Get Your Health On event at Big Ben Care's new facility, CarePoint. And we just took over CarePoint. Shout out to Rob Renzi and the staff there. We just took over CarePoint. And I mean, people walked in that building. It's a beautiful facility. It's partially funded by our community redevelopment agency, but that organization has taken on a huge responsibility in providing that center for the community. And so to have people be able to go in and out of it, and the beautiful thing about that is all I saw really all day is children and families walking through there, getting to know the facility, which was beautiful. So that is the power of collaborative neighborhood advocacy, bringing people to the assets that belong to them on the neighborhood level.
Yeah, I attended that event.
Yes, you did.
And there were a number of vendors that were there that provided information on everything from, you know, diabetes health to, cancer health, just a bunch of different things, HIV, and then the workshops were outstanding. So the one on mental health, especially in the Black community, and you know, just some other topics that were really needful for the day. So that was a great event.
And I mean, even as you were there, and you can kind of give me what you think, people wanted to learn more. They wanted to understand more so that they could be activated, right?
Yeah,
and that's the power of doing things like that in collaboration and, you know, with the right spirit.
Right.
We are Cumulus Broadcasting Tallahassee, the power of radio. Proud sponsor of Conversations with Nicole, connecting the community through conversations.
At Brown & Brown Attorneys at Law, we are committed to helping the injured.
Our areas of practice include personal injury, auto and semi-truck accidents, wrongful death, and serious injuries suffered at apartment complexes and other establishments.
At Brown & Brown Attorneys at Law, you receive a free initial consultation in our practice areas with an attorney who maintains an open door policy.
In other words, you can talk to your attorney and not just the staff.
At Brown & Brown Attorneys at Law, we are committed to helping the injured.
House Huggers Home Inspections, proudly serving North Florida and South Georgia since 1998 with residential and commercial inspections. For more information, call 850-508-4123.
This is Nicole Everett. People often ask me, what makes a great conversation? I say active listening, honest exchange, genuine interest, and finding a common ground. Tune in to Conversations with Nicole and explore the pleasures and connection of great conversation.
Conversations with Nicole. Come and have a little talk with me. Conversations with Nicole. Come on and speak to me.
So CONA, tell me a little bit about your involvement with CONA and maybe some things that CONA has coming up.
Well, the Council of Neighborhood Associations of Tallahassee, Leon County, actually in 2021 will be celebrating its 40th year of existence.
40 years.
It was founded in 1981 by several neighborhoods in Tallahassee as a means of direct advocacy with government in order to preserve neighborhoods, but also to preserve the natural beauty of our entire city county. And to work through the vehicle of land use in order to create preservation mechanisms through public policy to preserve neighborhoods and also to provide, again, kind of at the grassroots collaborative spirit between neighborhoods. And so CONA has just been the training ground for me in neighborhood advocacy, right? Because when I went to the organization, all I saw was like these folks that were like really serious about their neighborhoods, and I was in real estate, so I understood, you know, the value that certain neighborhoods already had, but I didn't understand why. And so when I looked at the neighborhoods that were involved in CONA, the ones that were really visibly involved in CONA, I noticed that those were the neighborhoods that had the highest price points. I noticed those were the neighborhoods of note. When you referred to neighborhoods, those were the ones that came up on the list first. I was like, wait a minute, this needs to be an organization that everyone has access to.
Right.
So since then, CONA has hosted every year as a means of kind of really sticking the point home that we as a community need to be collaborative. We host the Neighborhood Awards event every year in collaboration with the Leon County, the City of Tallahassee. This year we brought on Sustainable Tallahassee.
Okay.
Next year we hope to bring on even more organizations and make it more of a community venue for recognition and awarding to really lift up not just neighborhoods, but neighbors as well.
Excellent.
CONA also has done in the past years of what we call neighborhood symposiums, where we bring in people to do training on specific areas of neighborhood advocacy and neighborhood association development. So we're working on that boot camp right now for this year. We'll keep y'all posted on that.
Good.
And we just
good.
continue to support other organizations that care and that love this city and that love its neighborhoods.
So what does community advocacy look like to you?
Well, what it looks like is what it does. And so, you know, it's like people will tell you, I love you all the time, but love is not love unless it does something.
That's right.
And
Love
so,
is the action.
Love in action. That's what advocacy looks like for me. And, you know, I was able to do a class for the Department of Health that was interesting. The point that was made is that if you don't have an organized approach to make effective or catalytic change, then you're not an advocate. Because an advocate takes those steps. An advocate not just sees the problem and says, I'm just going to keep talking about the problem. An advocate sees the problem, quantifies its solution, and puts mechanisms in place to advocate for the catalytic change or advocate for what's necessary to bring about the resolution of the problem. So they're not just problem-focused people.
Right.
They're people who understand a problem to an extent where they can actually materialize a solution, bring partners together to bring about systematic change that perpetuates that solution to the future. So when people say they're an advocate of something, are they just talking about a
it,
problem?
right.
Or are they bringing a solution to the problem? That's what an advocate is, and that's what advocacy does.
So not just talking about it, but being about it.
Oh yeah, for certain. And in this day, we need more people who love through action.
Love it, love it, love it. So when community functions well, what does that look like?
The product of a community that functions well is a citizen that loves its city. A citizen who has found their place, a citizen who understands what resources are available to them, and roadblocks aren't put in place to prevent them from having benefits from those resources. There's someone, a community that functions well doesn't have a heavy law enforcement presence, because citizens regulate each other and people regulate themselves because they love where they live. And a community that functions well, I believe, is a community that has the kind of personality that the love is evident for its residents in everything that it does. And I'm gonna put a little plug in for this city. We're not a perfect city, but I can say comparatively to a lot that there's a lot of love in Tallahassee. Love lives here. We have a lot more work to do, but love does truly live here.
There is, I would agree with you on that. Okay. You said it looks like a citizen that's happy to be here and that has access to resources.
That's right.
Without barriers or preferential treatment. When there are some barriers, what would you, as a community advocate, what would you recommend for a citizen if that is the case?
I would well, first of all, that's where the work comes in, right? Because we have to do a better job with, first of all, helping articulate the system, right? What the system is, even as it regards the built environment, because the built environment should serve the citizens, right? It shouldn't be the citizens serving the built environment. So anything that we erect, anything that we build, the soul of it should be to serve its citizens. So case in point, the beautiful idea they have with the police department, reconfiguring that to be a place of service to the community in addition to enforcement of the law. That's a good brainchild of how you create powerful community. You get it at its soul, and then you branch out from there, you know, the needs, the opportunities, and the mandates, and you make those come together under one roof. And when that happens,
the magic happens.
That's where the magic is.
Okay. Love it, love it, love it.
In today's high-speed, content-rich world, messages get lost in the noise. The ability to see the bigger picture becomes increasingly difficult when there are so many pictures. Sometimes it takes elevation above the noise, a higher perspective. Go higher.
We are Cumulus Broadcasting Tallahassee, the power of radio. Proud sponsor of Conversations with Nicole, connecting the community through conversations.
At Brown & Brown Attorneys at Law, we are committed to helping the injured.
Our areas of practice include personal injury, auto and semi-truck accidents, wrongful death, and serious injuries suffered at apartment complexes and other establishments.
At Brown & Brown Attorneys at Law, you receive a free initial consultation in our practice areas with an attorney who maintains an open door policy.
In other words, you can talk to your attorney and not just the staff.
At Brown & Brown Attorneys at Law, we are committed to helping the injured.
So what's the best advice you've either given or received?
Ooh. Two things were the best advice I ever received. First of all, Miss Edwina, dear Edwina Stevens, who is one of my matriarchs of the community, her and Eva Manning, shout out to College Terrace. They told me two things. Well, they told me one thing. Don't ever go anywhere without peppermints for other people. They did. They said.
What am I meant?
It's in my pocketbook. I got like 2 of them. I keep peppermints, and sometimes I keep like a thing, because what it does is it knocks down walls.
Okay.
Because who doesn't want a peppermint?
Right.
Who doesn't need a peppermint? People need 2. But you're taking care of people, right? And then the second great advice that I will never forget, and I refer to over and over and over again, I received in my adult life, is from Anita Favors. And she told me when I sat in her office one day, a belligerent little community advocate who just didn't understand how the world worked. She said, baby, just know, we all may be doing different things, but we all are trying to do the right thing. She said, if you take that into every conversation that you have, you won't have to put the guards up. Everybody's trying to do what they consider is right.
Excellent.
And isn't that something?
That is.
And she really helped me, because I just thought I had to fight the power, and I don't. You just have to figure it out and know that everybody's trying to do what they believe is the right thing.
I love that too. Great advice. We're here at Nefertari in the Lotus Room. So let's talk food.
Yes.
What's your favorite food?
Ooh. I don't have a favorite food now. I used to have a favorite food, but now I can't eat milk, so it's not my favorite food anymore.
What was it?
It was ice cream.
Ice cream. Okay.
But I can't eat it because the age and the lactose
I
intolerance.
gotcha.
So
Okay.
it's not a favorite anymore. I can't have it, and I don't remember it that well. But my favorite is usually whatever I'm eating right after I go to the gym.
Whatever you're eating at the time.
Yeah, if it tastes better when you're hungry.
Okay. Leave it to Christic.
I'm just saying.
All right, no problem. Okay, so if you could describe your life as a flavor or a spice, what would it be?
Oh, you know what it would be?
What?
It would be curry.
Curry.
And the reason why it's curry is not just one seasoning. It is a whole conglomerate of different seasonings.
It is a mix of seasonings.
And it can either be toned up or toned down. It can either be really, really spicy, or it can be extremely mild or in the middle.
That's true.
And I think that would probably be what I would describe myself as a curry.
A spectrum of spice.
A spectrum of spices.
From mild to strong.
Yes, honey.
And then somewhere in the middle sometimes.
Whatever you need for the recipe.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
Love that too. Well, what inspires you?
Love inspires me. Love. you know, the love of God that I've graciously received just by knowing Him, knowing the Lord as my Savior, as a woman of deep faith. It inspires me. It inspires me to see people sacrificing themselves for one another, because that's great power. That's great power. It's transformative power. It's transformed me. I'm a daddy's child, and my dad loved me. And I can sit here as a grown woman and know that I'm a loved woman because he loved me. My husband loved me. But a lot of his love for me stems from that love of that father that was invested in me. So love is powerful, it's transformative, and I'm inspired by people who go out of their way to love and to self-sacrifice for the benefit of others.
Well, we definitely can see that love shining through in you and all that you do in the community.
Thank you. Thank you, my sister.
My pleasure. We're going to take a break right here.
Yes. Okay.
So you all stay tuned for more conversations with Nicole.
Conversations with Nicole is proud to launch our new website featuring past episodes, information on collaborative events, partner opportunities, and more. Visit CWNMoments.com and discover how we are connecting the community through conversations. Again, that's CWNMoments.com.
Conversations with Nicole. Come and have a little talk with me.
Well, as you can see, our food is here. So that's all the conversations we have time for today. I want to thank my special guest, my sister, Christic Henry of Kingdom First Realty. We want to invite you to join us next week on Conversations with Nicole, where we're connecting the community through conversations. We'll see you next time.